Well, hello and welcome to another movie review by Movie Burner Entertainment. My name is Stephen and today I'm going to talk about the 1993 Harold Ramis film Groundhog Day. This is one of my favourite films of all time. The actual Groundhog Day is essentially about a groundhog who's said to come out of its hole at the end of its hibernation. If the groundhog sees its shadow, it goes back into its hole, and this results in 6 weeks more winter weather. Ramis's film is based on this event and is set in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, although actually filmed in Woodstock, Illinois. Bill Murray is Phil Connors, an arrogant Pittsburgh TV weatherman who, during an assignment covering this event for the television channel, along with his producer Rita, played by Andie MacDowell, and TV cameraman Larry, played by Chris Elliott, is prepared to leave Punxsutawney once filming is done and is stranded due to adverse weather causing all roads in and out of the area closed, making Phil, Rita and Larry going back to stay in Punxsutawney overnight and hopefully leaving in the morning. Now Phil awakens to the same song in his alarm clock, it's Sonny and Cher's I Got You Babe, and more bizarrely the radio DJ is saying the exact same things that they said the previous day. This of course sets Phil on a bizarre experience throughout the day, convinced today's events already happened yesterday. I love the way that Bill Murray handles that first day of many with confusion, whether yesterday actually happened, and his bewilderment is priceless. I remember watching this for the first time and having those same feelings as the character. It was almost as if the whole town was involved in one massive conspiracy against Phil because he was such a mean guy. This is Murray at his best, his cruelest best, as he cuts everyone down to size that he meets with his sarcastic wit and brutal put-downs. That's not to say he doesn't bring an emotional and sorry state to the character, and in particular the last third of the movie. It's been debated for a long time now just how long Phil was stuck in Groundhog Day. Some have quoted decades, others sadistically have said it's closer to 1,000 years. Nevertheless, Murray portrays the character by the end as a lost soul serving no purpose in this day and can't do anything about it. Not even kill himself. That is until he realises the potential of reinventing his character in a genuine way, learning literature, studying classical music, ice sculpturing, and more importantly a consciousness and humility about the person he is and what he could become. Sadly for Murray and Ramis, creative differences would result in both men not speaking to each other for a very long time as they had different views on how the film's tone should be. Murray could be serious when he wanted to be and felt the story should have had a more deep spiritual tone to it, rather than how Ramis wanted the movie to go and how it came out as a light-humoured romantic comedy. It certainly would have been interesting to see how dark Phil Connors could have been, but nevertheless I love how the film came out and I personally think Ramis was right to keep it as he envisioned it. It certainly gave it that timeless feel to it. We can't forget, although this centres around the TV weatherman, Andie MacDowell as the producer Rita is brilliant. MacDowell has always been a great comedic actress and I think it's fair to say that in Groundhog Day she's the straight one and the love interest of Phil, eventually. Her performance is on par with Murray and the character is certainly a match for Phil Connors. Again, the trio was complete with the brilliant and really funny Chris Elliott as Larry the cameraman. Larry is almost frightened of Phil and usually waits for Phil not to be around before he slates him and calling him a prima donna. Elliott shines near the end when Larry self-auctions himself and is on the receiving end to the lowest bidder in the room being a little old lady. His reaction is priceless when he realises. Supporting the three in what must be one of the most memorable characters of the 1990s is Stephen Tobolowsky's Ned Ryerson. Tobolowsky is such an amazing act, and to see him let loose and just going for it as the irritating and tedious Ned is hilarious to witness. Believe me, you will get some satisfaction when you see Phil decking him. I can't review this film without mentioning the late great Angela Paton as Mrs Lancaster. Paton's role was small as the landlady in the bed and breakfast Phil is staying in. Her character is confused for most of the part and Paton did such a fine job in clearly fodder for the cruel Connors. Overall, and ironically, this film requires multiple viewings on a layered basis but also on an enjoyable level also. The town in which the film is shot in is beautiful to look at, especially with the cold crisp look of a February day. The writing and the originality of the story and how precise they managed to replicate the same day over and over again from different perspectives is short of a miracle. Murray, MacDowell, Elliott and Tobolowsky were excellent casting choices. Ramis's humour and uniqueness is there for all to see, and 25 years on it's fair to say that Groundhog Day can now be regarded as a classic. Highly recommended.
Remember guys, if you're enjoying the content we're putting out, then subscribe to us on YouTube and on iTunes and Google Play at the Movie Burner Podcast, and also pop on and give us a little follow on Facebook and Twitter at Movie Burners. You can also catch up with all the latest reviews we're putting out on the Movie Burner blog at movieburnerintertainment.org. Until the next time, goodbye.